Hey guys, have you ever gone to the store in intention to buy salmon and noticed how expensive it is? Have you ever asked why it's so expensive? That's right, it's actually because since the 1990s, the population of Chinook salmon, the biggest salmonid on the west coast, has been in decline of upwards up to 90% of their population since the 1990s. That is about 5 million individuals since the 1990s to about 500,000 today, coming back to California streams to spawn. Hi, I'm Elliot. I'm a Chico State student, as you know, and since moving to Chico, I've become something of an amateur fisherman, and learning about fish has been something that I have been pursuing outside of school as a extracurricular kind of education. And I really was interested in talking about salmon because they are a keystone species, which is a very interesting thing to pair with the fact that they're like almost endangered in this state, despite how much we love them, eating them, fishing for them, seeing them, all of that. And I just wanted to talk about how they are as a keystone species. And now, a keystone species, just to introduce, is a species that has a very tilted responsibility of the species that indicates basically the health of a habitat and how they control either prey or contribute nutrients to the area. In this case, the salmon, they're in their life cycle, they go to the ocean. They come back with a lot of the great nutrients from the ocean. When they spawn, they die in the streams, the freshwater streams in California. And all those nutrients go to predators, scavengers. They go into the soil as well on the riverbanks. And that contributes to plant life, growing animals, all of that good nutrients that they provide. Help things such as redwood forests, valleys, a lot of the beautiful scenery that we associate with California is because of them. And their life cycle actually starts in the freshwater streams here in the state. And they're an androgynous fish, meaning that they live here in their infancy. They travel to the ocean in their adulthood, and they come back to spawn, much as some other fish, including rainbow trout or steelhead, as they're known when they do this. And even though we love them so much because they taste so good and they're such an iconic and symbolic fish of the kind of ruggedness of the Pacific Northwest in general, they're like almost endangered, which is insane to think about. And that's because of our impact that we have on the environment, specifically hydroelectric dams, dams in general, projects that have to do with draining water, using water resources, overfishing, overexploitation in general, which is pretty insane to think about it. Dams being the top one that prevents them from coming into their home streams and spawning to ensure the continuation of the salmon population. And given the kind of doom and gloom that I presented about the potential future of the species in the way that we have overexploited and blocked their ways back home to prevent them from kind of like doing their thing and ensuring their survival, there has been actually some uplifting news. For the first time in a few years, the Sacramento area has actually lifted the ban on fishing salmon, indicating that there could be some rebound from them for the species, as well as fisheries which promote further salmon into the rivers and streams by human means, as well as namely the current uptake of reconsidering how we approach aquaculture and specifically hydroelectrics in destructing some dams to actually make way for fish, which is the most effective way to repopulate areas with native fish species, which are so important. Now, just to see the scale of how big of an impact a keystone species like specifically the salmon is, you could go out into the redwood forest and just see the impact of how fish that are about the size of my arm, which I've seen from being this big to about this big, contribute to redwood trees that are hundreds of feet tall, if not even wide. And just next time you go to the store, consider how that fish got there. And I encourage you guys to all go outside to your local water bodies.